Now from Macomb in high definition. Good Morning Macomb continues.
Welcome back to Good Morning Macomb. Earlier in the show, we talked about SGA elections, and current President Will Gradle is up for a write-in position for Senator at Large, and two candidates have been placed on the ballot to be the next SGA President. Now here are DeVille Serapskady and Matt Allwood. Thank you for joining us this morning, guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us.
So what we'll do is we'll have 30 minutes for each of these questions. We'll start with an opening comment, and we'll start with you, DeVille. You have 30 seconds to address the audience on your bid for SGA President.
Okay, awesome. So a little bit about myself. I'm a current sophomore right now at Western. I'm a double major in law enforcement and political science with also a minor in French. Currently, for student government, I am Director of Academic Affairs. I've really enjoyed the position. I've gotten to know a lot of faculty and different students on campus, and I've really taken advantage of getting to know everyone. Thank you.
All right, thank you, DeVille. Matt, you have 30 seconds to address.
Hi guys, I'm a current mathematics major here at Western Illinois University. I'm a sophomore, and I've been in SGA for 2 years, both my years on campus. Last year I ran for Senator at Large, and you guys voted me into office, and now I'm just asking you guys to trust me again to elect me as your president. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Matt. We'll begin with we'll begin with DeVille with our first question. So in the state of fiscal crisis in Illinois, what is the most important mission of the SGA president?
So I think a very big mission for going into next year is going to be educating students and making sure that they understand what's going on at the university, also in Springfield, because the more educated they are, they can make decisions. And also a really big thing that we've been faced with this year is rumors spreading around campus. So kind of combating those rumors and making sure that everything that people are talking about is true.
Thank you, DeVille. Matt.
Yeah, so the director of the position of the president on this is the leader of all the students on campus. It's very important that the president is kind of heading up all efforts to kind of bring this to Springfield and show them exactly how their indecision is affecting students here. I think Will Gradle, as our current president, has done an excellent job of that, and I think it's very important to continue that effort.
We'll go off that Springfield comment right now. Recent SGA leaders have taken to Springfield and led marches, protests. Will Gradle has been instrumental in some of those. Now, what would you say to lawmakers, be specific, on this current budget crisis in the state of Illinois?
I would say that you need to make a decision. You need to make it soon. A lot of lawmakers aren't realizing the exact impact that this is having on people's actual lives. They just kind of see us as, they don't see who we actually are. They don't see that we're real people. What they do see is their paychecks, and they see their pettiness, and they just need to kind of step up and realize exactly who they're hurting with their indecision.
DeVille, you have 30 seconds.
Okay. So I think a really big thing, kind of going off of what Matt has been saying, is educating and talking with the legislators and Michael G. Madigan, Governor Rauner, because they're the people making the decisions, and they're not making them right now, and that's really affecting the student body, and not just the student body, but also the community around us, and it's having a lot of different effects on the community.
We've stressed the importance of involvement with the student body in governmental process, especially in Springfield, and it seems like the frustration is starting to boil over. So a lot of students aren't exactly sure what goes on in SGA and aren't exactly involved. What is your mission to get students involved in the process? And we'll start with you, Matt.
I want to show students that in SGA, it's not so much a scary thing. We're not all these people who are just above them. I know going into SGA my first year, on my first day, I came in wearing like a t-shirt and shorts. And then I realized that the mayor was addressing us. So that was terrifying. But over time, you kind of get more used to it, and you kind of realize that it's just students, just like you. So one of the ways I want to do that is by creating the Student Opinion Committee within the Senate. And they're going to go out and they're going to get student opinions while also kind of broadcasting that SGA is just this friendly organization that's looking after the student interests. Yeah.
DeVille, 30 seconds.
So one initiative that I was going to start is kind of bringing in students and organizations to come and speak at our meetings. So give them 10 minutes before our meeting to address what organization they belong to and what they want changed in the university. It'll allow us to bring in different students to student government, and it'll also allow us to hear from voices that we normally don't get to. And maybe we'll even be able to spark an interest in student government.
With more interest in students now, there's a lot of issues coming up in diversity in opinions. What is, from your guys' perspective, you have 1 minute on this question, by the way, what is the biggest issue besides the state budget facing students today, and what is your plan to fix it? DeVille, we'll start with you.
Okay, thank you. So I think a really big problem that is facing the university with students is student enrollment. It has been in decline for the last 10 years, and that is really having a lot of long-term effects on the university. That is, I mean, with us not having a budget, that is affecting us, but also because of low student enrollment, our university is not being able to fund athletics or different community organizations. So I think that is a very big thing that the university needs to start addressing a little bit more.
Matt, you have 1 minute.
I would say the biggest issue facing students today is their own apathy in kind of university matters. They see kind of things happening in the university, and while we do have an abundance of amazing student leaders, not every student is really stepping up and kind of taking a stand there. I think it's really just so important because great ideas don't come from just one person. They don't come from just one body. They come when everyone comes together, shares their opinions, and we make an idea that fits everybody. We need to do that with the students. We need more students stepping up and really starting to take an interest in what's going on, not just in the student government, but in their other governing organizations, the Student Tenant Union, IHC. We need people just that are really willing to step up and really start working for the change they want to see on campus.
So far, we're early in this election cycle. This will take place next year. What's one thing you plan to improve with the university under your administration, DeVille?
So one thing that I want to improve is the relationship that faculty and students have. That is something that I've been working on all semester. I think that there's kind of sometimes a disconnect between what faculty thinks is right and what the students actually want. So I think building those relationships between the two is very important.
And Matt?
In the next school year, we're all really hoping that this budget crisis comes to an end. But even when it does, this university is still going to be facing just this loss of students, this kind of loss of value almost, because we've had to cut so many programs, we've had to cut so many teachers, and that's going to be hard to come back from. So we need to find creative and cost-effective ways to make our degrees more valuable for students, to make universities stand out more. One way I think is a really good way of doing that is by broadening our study abroad programs and getting some more students more involved in those.
So now it's time for our closing statements, and one thing I would like you to touch on your closing statements is what students expect from university, Western Illinois University, or any place they get their education. You guys have 30 seconds for your closing statements. Matt, you can go ahead.
This is it goes back into my answer to a previous question. Students don't expect much from Western Illinois University, and I think that they should. I think that we need to be taking more pride in our school and kind of coming together and telling our university officials exactly what we expect from the university. So I would say that what students need to be expecting is excellence and just university officials who are constantly striving to make their degrees more valuable and make their college experience just a better experience for all the students.
DeVille, you have 30 seconds.
Okay, so I think a big thing that students should be expecting is faculty and different administrators to fight for them in Springfield. The budget is obviously a very important issue right now going on, so kind of trusting the administration to do what's right. And I'm excited for the elections to go on, and I think we're both excited to see how things end up on Friday.
DeVille Sirpskady, Matt Elwood, thank you for joining us this morning. SGA elections are now until Friday at 4 p.m. Students can vote by logging onto their STARS account and selecting the menu button and scrolling down on the student voting and election information. You can follow along on your screen there. Matt Elwood and DeVille Sirpskady are competing for the presidential position. All other candidates are running unopposed. Current SGA President Will Gradle, he's running for the Board of Trustees. Only 3 students are competing for the 5 senator at-large positions. That leaves an option for write-in candidates on all those positions. Now, thank you guys for watching the forum. Stay tuned. You're watching Good Morning Macomb.